Hello and welcome to part one of 2 parts of me making a very cute Valentine's Day outfit. Today I'm going to show you how I made this side tie tank top, which is a sewing pattern I will be releasing to you guys very soon. But I did it with this cute little heart cutout. It is reversible. It has these cute little ribbon side ties. And for part 2, I will be making matching high-waisted pink pants with heart cutouts down the side. And that video will be out on Valentine's Day. So if you guys are at all interested in watching how I made this, or if you want to learn the techniques that you would need to put a cutout into something, please keep on watching. And if you want to stick around, please subscribe because I love having you here. Without further ado, let's just get into it. All right, you know we got to start by cutting out our pattern pieces. So I'm doing that here. I'm cutting on the fold. And both of the fabrics I'm using today are from my grandma Pitty, who was a collector of fabrics and all things crafting, and when she passed away left them all to me, which is great, but I've just never really had a use for this hot pink and skin toned poly fabric. So using my elementary school skills here, I made a perfect little paper heart. I held the tank up to my body and kind of marked where I wanted the heart to be. And now I'm cutting it out on the fold on both my lining piece and my outer piece. This tank top is fully reversible, so they're technically both outer pieces, but you know. So we of course have to change out our thread in our machine. I've got hot pink thread ready to go for this project. And so I'm loading my bobbin and also threading my machine. So right sides together, I am sewing about 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the heart. This is the shape that the heart will be. So it's super visible, so you just want to take your time. Make sure it's perfect. As you can see, I'm inspecting it quite a bit, trimming all my threads, and I'm also kind of grading the seams and cutting into the point of the heart and cutting off the excess fabric there. I'm shoving one side through the hole and it looks questionable. All right, anyways, I turned it back out and now I'm clipping into the curves so that everything lays flat, pushing it through the hole again. And at this point I was pretty pleased. I was like, all right, cute. Now I'm using these little tweezers to really push in to the point and also kind of like massage the edges so that they also lay flat. And then of course we're going to give this all a good press. And it's going to look so much better after we press it. This fabric, because it is polyester, was a little bit hard to press, but it worked out in the end. Alright, so this is what not to do if you're doing a cutout. This is the normal assembly for this side tie tank. I'm sewing these shoulders together, right sides together for both the lining and the outer fabric. And again, this would have worked great if I didn't already have that heart there. So I was right sides together, pinning and sewing the neck hole closed. And usually, like the heart, you would just shove one of the sides through the neck hole and then it would be right side out. Going into it, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work. And surprise to nobody, it didn't work. But that's okay because we learned something and I figured out how to do it by doing it wrong. So now you don't have to do it wrong. And I'm going to show you the correct way to assemble if you too are wanting to put a cutout in a enclosed top like this. So here's me being like, no, it'll work. It's totally going to work. It'll totally be fine. And then the realization hits. But that's all right. That's why the seam ripper was invented. So I'm going to go ahead and pick out all the stitches from the neck hole, and then we're also going to do the shoulders. All right, now over to you, real life me. All right, I'm sure as you could tell, my normal construction didn't work, and that's okay. I sometimes need to just try things out and then seam rip to figure out construction. I don't think it was a waste of time or anything. However, I think what I'm gonna do next, and we'll see if it works, do like the front neckband and the back neckband together, and then we'll attach the shoulders. I think that will help us to avoid having to do the burrito method from top to bottom, though we'll still have to do it for the shoulders, but I think we'll be fine for the shoulders. So, wish me luck. I just wanted to check in and let you guys know that that's what happened. That's quite all right. I think this will be worth it, and I'm already having ideas about matching pants. Can you imagine matching pants but with like hearts all the way down the side? I don't know. That sounds pretty cool to me. Anywho, I'm going to seam rip the shoulders, then I'm gonna do the front neckline, back neckline, and then we'll attach at the shoulders. Hopefully that works. Wish me luck. Oh, and I also forgot to do the darts on the front bodice, so I'm doing that now. This would have been easier if I had done it before I connected the two, but honestly it wasn't that bad. So I'm just marking my darts on the wrong side of the fabric, and then I'm pinning those together and sewing them, leaving a long tail at the end so I can tie it off rather than back stitching. This helps to prevent puckering right at the inner bust. Not too shabby if you ask me. All right, burrito method time. We are going to roll the bottom of our front bodice up, and then we're gonna put the top like that. I don't really know how to describe it other than a burrito. So now we are going to pin those right sides together. Also, this is Lady. She's my boss, and she is overseeing the project here. And before you comment, oh no, don't let your cat be by the sewing machine. I promise you, I love my cat, keeping an eye on her, and I would never put her in harm's way. She is merely observing and getting her notes together for my monthly review, okay? All right, now it's the fun part. Now we get to pull everything out of our burrito. Burrito time. All right, and as you can see, now that's looking pretty good. So we're gonna do the same thing to the back pieces, but you don't have to do the burrito method. There's no heart in the middle. And then I'm just giving that a good press, and then we're gonna connect them at the shoulder seams. All right, so when we put the front and back together, we are going to open up those shoulder seams, and we're going to line them up at the seam, pin them down. We wanna make sure that connecting seam is really perfect. I would recommend that you grade your seam allowance before doing this. I didn't grade my seam allowance on this one, but I did on the next one. So you're gonna put these right sides together, and then we're just gonna sew that together. Once that is connected, I'm giving it a good look, and I'm going to grade that seam allowance. And once both shoulder seams are connected, we are doing the burrito method for the burrito side time of the tank. So we're rolling that up really, really, really thin, because we're doing the entire shoulder strap, and it is a little tight, and this is why I would recommend, if you're doing this yourself, to do something that's a little bit lighter weight, because the heavier weight materials are just going to be more difficult to turn out. However, as you can see here, I did make it work. So I'm adding ribbon ties, and so I wanted to melt the ends of those ribbons. I should have just used a lighter because it did kind of scorch it, but what do you do? So I'm putting in my ribbons at the mark where the side ties go, and I only had enough to make 4 ties, which meant I only get to do 1 side tie per side, but that's all right. We're improvising here. And as we're sewing, we want to make sure to do a really nice line, because this is the visible line that you'll see. So once we're done with that, we're going to grade our seams, and these are the only corners that you want to cut in sewing. All right, and once we have graded all of our seams from that, we are going to turn it out. And again, it is a little bit of finessing, pushing the fabric, pulling the fabric. It looks like I'm being really aggressive here, but I promise you it's really not as aggressive as it looks. But you can see it looks like a sausage casing. It's so full, but once it releases, it's really easy to turn out, as you can see here. So now that we've got one encased shoulder seam, looking really good, it's time to do the other side. All right, when we're sewing the second shoulder closed, we are also going to close the bottom edge of the tank top on both sides. So for the back, I sewed the entire bottom closed, and for the front, I sewed the entire bottom closed minus a medium-sized gap right in the middle for me to turn the tank top out from. You want to leave that gap so you have something to, you can pull all the fabric through. and then later we're going to sew that closed by hand. And since we have to pull all of that fabric through the little shoulder seam, we are going to make sure to grade all of our seams, clip all of our corners, and make sure that the least amount of fabric as possible is going to be pushed through this shoulder seam. It does look a little stressed, as you can see, so just make sure to use good thread. And again, if you use lighter weight fabric like a cotton, it's not going to have this much of a hard time. But since I did kind of use a heavier weight knit fabric, we're just going to kind of run into this. But in the end, it turned out great. So don't be stressing too much about it. It looks a little aggressive, but I promise it's not that bad. Ooh, and it's looking so cute. To properly poke out these corners, I'm using a long, skinny knitting needle. And this is super helpful because you can go through the shoulder seams to poke out the corners for the back panel. So I would definitely recommend this prior to pressing. And of course, you know, we got to do a good try on to make sure it's all fitting well. And as you can see, I still have the front little gap, you know, kind of closed in the front, but I have not sewn it yet. That is just to make sure if I need to make any adjustments, I still have the ability to kind of turn certain parts out. But we are going to close this up using a ladder stitch with a needle and thread. This is a pretty basic stitch. If you haven't tried it before, it's super satisfying and it gives a really nice closure to an open hole like this. This stitch is also known as a mattress stitch, and it is a stitch which can be used to invisibly close seams from the outside of the garment or item. And yes, I googled that just so I had a good way of describing it to you guys. It's a really easy stitch to learn. It's great to have in your arsenal, especially for mending, and when it's all said and done, it's pretty invisible to the eye, so I would definitely recommend it. And we are going to hide our tail inside of the garment, and I think it's about time to see that finished top. Let's see it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see the part 2 to this video, it will be out on Valentine's Day, and it will be me making matching pants with heart cutouts down the side. I'm very excited about it. I'm also very scared because it's quite the like undertaking, but I am excited, and I hope to see you guys over in that video. And happy Valentine's Day. I hope that you feel inspired to make something, to create something, and I hope that you maybe learn a new technique. So I will catch you guys in the next one, and I hope you have a great day. Love you guys.